Today we will be looking at advanced simultaneous equations. This is where we have one linear equation and a quadratic equation. So in this case here, so what we're trying to do first is trying to get an equation all in x or all in y. Since both of these equations are equal to y, we can put them equal to each other. And because we have a quadratic equation here, because we've got an x squared, to solve a quadratic equation, it needs to be equal to 0. So I'm going to take x off both sides. And now I'm going to take 3 off both sides. Need to factorise. Times to get minus 5, add to get 4. Now I need to solve. Found x, but I need to find y also. So let's find out y when x is 1 first. When x is 1, y, if I substitute into this top equation, because it's the easiest one, y is 4. So there we have one of the answers. And when x is minus 5, y is minus 2. Okay, maybe have a go at these three yourself first. Put me on pause and have a go when you are finished. We'll have a watch to see if you've got them right. Let's start with this first one. Both equal to y, so let's put them equal to each other. Take an x off both sides. And take and add 5 to both sides. Well done if you notice this was difference of 2 squares. X is 3 or x is negative 3. I'll substitute it back into this equation here. When x is 3, y is 3 minus 5, negative 2. Well, when x is negative 3, y is negative 3, take away 5, negative 8. See? Both equal to y. Let's put them equal to each other. Got an equation all in x. Now I'm going to take 2x off both sides. Now I'm going to add 1 to both sides. Times to get 3, add to get negative 4. x is 1 or x is 3. I'm going to sum back into here. When x is 1, y is equal to 2 times 1, take away 1, 1. When x is 3, y is equal to 2 times 3, take away 1, y is 5. We've got part D. So first step, let's take 3x off both sides. Then we're going to take 9 off both sides. Common factor is 2, so let's divide through by 2. Factorise. Solve. Put it back into this equation here. When x is 1, y is 12. When x is minus 4, y is negative 3. These simultaneous equations are slightly more advanced from the previous questions. So here we've got x plus y equals 4, y equals x squared plus 3x minus 1. Previously they were both equal to y, so we could put them equal to each other and come up with an equation all in x. Not quite the case here, but what we could do with this first one is make y the subject by taking x off both sides. Then we have y equals, so we can put them equal to each other, and we have an equation all in x. The quadratic equation needs to be equal to 0. Let's add an x to both sides. Take 4 off both sides. Factorise. Solve. Put back into our original equation to find y. So when x is 1, y equals 4 minus 1, which is 3. When x is minus 5, 4, subtract x, so minus 5, gives you y is 9. Okay, let's look at the second one. Slightly different again, because of this top equation. So we're not going to make y the subject here, because we're going to come up with it. If we did that, we'd have a really complicated equation, which would be too difficult to work with. So let's just do something else here. So I'm going to make y the subject here for this bottom linear equation by taking an x off both sides. And then what I'm going to do, and these are the most popular ones I think for IGCSE exam, is substitute that equation for y into the top equation. Then we will have an equation all in x. Because we know y is 5 minus x, we can sub that in for the y here. We've got a double bracket here, don't forget. Now it's alright here because we've got a plus outside our double bracket. If you had a minus here, you'd have to be really careful again not to make a common mistake. If I expand these brackets, got 25 minus 5x minus 5x, which is negative 10x, plus x squared, because minus x times minus x is positive x squared. Right, x squared plus x squared. Right, I'm going to take 13 off both sides. I'm going to divide everything by 2. Oops, that's an x there. And then I am going to factorise. So negative 2, negative 3. Negative 2 times negative 3 is 6. Negative 2 add negative 3 is negative 5. So we have x is 2, 4x is 3. So when x is 2, we sub it back into this top equation to find y. Y is 3. And when x is 3, y is 2. Okay, we have 6 questions on the board here. Have a go at all 6 maybe. Check my answer after every one though, to see if you've got it correct. Okay, so for this first one here, we already have x as the subject, so we can substitute it straight into here. We have a double bracket. I've got a feeling, oh no, this is, okay, slightly different to the last one, but very, very similar. Divide through by 2. So y is 2, y is 3. When y is 2, x is minus 3. When y is 3, x is negative 2. Okay, question 2. Then we've got y the subject, so we can substitute it straight into here. And then we have an equation all in x. Minus 3x would give you minus 6x. And then we are going to take 17 off both sides. Divide everything by 2. Factorise. Solve. So when x is 4, y is 1. When x is minus 1, y is minus 4. Question 3. Right, this time I'm going to make x or y the subject. I'm going to make x the subject. I think it's going to be easier by adding y to both sides. You could have made y the subject, would have been absolutely fine. Just would have been a couple of steps involved in that, but you would get the same answer in the end. So this time let's substitute in 2 plus y for the x in the top equation. Put 4 plus 2y plus 2y, which is 4y. Two y squared plus 4y. Take 34 off both sides. Divide everything by 2. Going to be positive and negative because we need two numbers that multiply to give negative 15 and add to give 2. 5 plus 5 minus 2. 5 take away 3, 2. Got these for our y's, minus 5 and 3. Let's substitute it back into this equation here. X is 2 plus y, and y is minus 5. 2 plus minus 5 is negative 3. And then when y is 3, x is just 5. Okay, question 4. Now, again, it is your choice as to whether to make x or y the subject. I would make y the subject. If you make x the subject, you can have a fraction, which will be difficult to manipulate. I'm going to add a y to both sides. You may have made x the subject, but you may have the right answer, but you will have found it more difficult. But if you have, you will get the same answer as me in the end. Take 3x off both sides. I'm going to substitute that in for my y. Expand the brackets. 4 minus 3x times 2 is minus 6x. 2 times minus 3x is minus 6x. Negative 3x times negative 3x. Positive 9x squared. We've got 10x squared minus 12x. I'm going to take 20 off both sides. Divide everything by 2. You might have a variety of different methods to solve these. You might split down the middle. I'm going to split down the middle. A times b. 5 times negative 8. Negative 40. And we need two numbers to add to give us negative 6. So it's going to be 4 and 10. Be positive and negative because it multiplied to give negative 40. So it is negative 10, positive 4, adds to give you minus 6. Let's split this minus 6 into minus 10x plus 4x. Factorise. And we have x minus 2, 5x plus 4. X is 2. Or, let's look at 5x plus 4 equals 0. Hang on, let me just solve this at the top somewhere. And then that's space here. Take 4 off both sides. Divide both sides by 5. You could leave it as minus 4 over 5, or it's negative 0.8. So if x is 2, y equals 2 minus 3 times 2. Negative 4. And when x is minus 0.8, so y is 4.4. Okay, number 5. Already have y subject, so let's substitute it straight here. Two x times 2x, 4x squared. 2x times negative 3, negative 6x. Negative 6x. 5x squared. Minus 12x. Take 41 off both sides. Can't divide through by anything, so let's split down the middle. This is 8 and 20. Positive and a negative. 20 and negative 8. Nope. Negative 20 and 8. Because negative 20 plus 8 gives you negative 12. Now, there's an option of solving this using the formula as well. If you've used the formula, you would have got the same answer. the second bracket here, we've got x is 4. Let's just put the 5x plus 8 equals 0. Take 8 from both sides. Divide both sides by 5. If you want to write that as a decimal, minus 1.6. When x is 4, y is 5. And when x is minus 1.6, y is negative 6.2. Okay, last question. I would make y the subject here by taking 2x off both sides. Take 20 off both sides. Five times negative 11, negative 55. Okay, so we can't factorise this, can we? Because there aren't two numbers that multiply to give negative 55 and add to give a negative 12. We'll have to use the quadratic formula, which gives us a chance to practice it. So a is 5, because we've got 5x squared. B is negative 12. C is negative 11. We've got minus b. Minus 12 is positive 12. Don't forget, because you've got a negative b, when you put in your calculator, it needs to be in brackets. Over 2a. Right, I'm just going to work out the bit under the square root first, but not square root it. $364. So x is 12 plus root 364 over 10, or x is 12 minus square root 364 over 10. Oh, I hadn't even noticed this. So if I'd have read the question, seen give your answer to 3 significant figures, I would have realised, well, it's got to be the formula. 12 plus root 364 all over 2 is 15.5 to 3 significant figures. And then 12 minus root 364 all over 10 minus 0.708 to three significant figures. Now let's substitute it back into here. Get minus 28 for y. Which gives you x is 3.11 to three significant figures. Here we x is minus 0.708. Substitute back into this equation. .42.